Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, my friends. Good evening. Today is Thursday, June 1st. It's my birthday. Woo! Yes, it's my birthday, and we are here working towards Spiritism. But in reality, we are working towards ourselves, our moral improvement, trying to be better a little bit day by day. So it is a blessing that we can be here online talking to our friends and the ones that will be listening to us in a recording version. So if this is the first time you are listening or you are watching this program, welcome. We are super happy to have you here. We studied this beautiful book, Heaven and Hell by Kardec. Woo! Let me remove the message here. I'm already live. So this is the beautiful book that we study. And tonight we are studying chapter 8. We will be talking about angels. So we will be talking about what are angels to the church understanding, to the church on the time of Kardec, for example. But later on, we will be talking about what are angels to Spiritism. Is it similar? Is the exactly same thing? What are the differences? So it's important for us to understand. And in the end, we reserve always like 10 minutes to this beautiful book, What is Spiritism? And in What is Spiritism, where we are right now, Kardec have conversations with priests. And then the priest asks Kardec a question, and then the priest shows his understanding, his point of view, and then Kardec talks about that point about what Spiritism thinks about it. So it's smooth. It's really good, and we all have fun with it. I hope you have fun too. So if you are connected, please write your comments and your messages, because that's a way that we can make it a little bit more smooth and also more interesting. So before we start our initial prayer, if you are here in Miami, our Spiritist Center is open every Tuesday from 7 to 8:15. So it will be a pleasure to see you, to meet you in person. We are on Coral Way here in the South Miami neighborhood. But if you can't be in person, you can also be online, and it would be also great. So ask me how, and I will send you the link, and you can join us online. And if you have anyone in Miami that would like to participate of the Family Spiritist Retreat, it will be on June 25th from 12 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be in a beautiful park in north of Miami. And we will have 3 Spiritist centers working together. So we are hoping to have you, your friends, family, everyone together. We are going to create some dynamics. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be some type of a lecture style, but you will learn throughout the day. And we also will have a picnic, so it will be really, really good to be able to meet many different people from many different areas in Miami. So very good. Let's let's inhale, exhale, and let's do our quick initial prayer, and then we can start the studies. God, Almighty and Father, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. At this moment, we ask the inspiration of our good friends, the enlightened spirits, our guardian angels, so they can help us to connect with the good thoughts. They can help us to rethink about the material that we studied, and we will be having a beautiful conversation with our guests tonight. And we will also be able to share these beautiful teachings with all our friends that will be joining us and the ones that will be listening to this in a recording version. Thank you so much. So be it. Very good, my friends. So I will invite now our first guest. So we have Shemaine. Hello, Shemaine. How are you?
Good evening, birthday girl Angie. I'm excellent here with you.
Yes. Very good, Shemaine. Thank you so much. I'm older, but my soul is of a teenager. That's why I'm always like this,
That's
hyper.
right.
So, Shemaine, quickly tell us a little bit about you, where you live, and how did you discover me in your life? Because it's your first time here in the
Yes,
program with us.
yes, for sure. Was lucky to meet you, Angie, in our beautiful neighborhood here in Miami, in Coconut Grove, and then had some free time show up in my life. So I began attending your Tuesday night group meetings, and I love it. And I was really, I just had the interest, and I knew you, so I trusted that from what I knew about it, I was going to enjoy, get a lot out of it, and I have. So I love attending most Tuesday nights and feel like we're learning to be better, and how we can, of course, improve ourselves for our next lives, and pray for people that need, our brothers and sisters and friends. So I just think it's all good. The volunteering that we do, I love. So I just am really appreciative to be a part of it.
Ah, so happy to have you with us. This is wonderful, very good. And I have to say, I was very surprised because you are totally new to Spiritism, but you really dive in, and for you, it was almost like a very natural because you understood it pretty quickly. And we are all learning. We are all learning, but it's really beautiful to see you were so open to it, and it's good to do good. So Spiritism has also this vibe of helping others, being charitable. So I know you are naturally doing this. So thank you so much for being part of the group. This is awesome.
Thank you, Angie.
So now we have Juan. Hello, Juan. I am so
Hi,
excited
Angie.
to have you here. Woo!
Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I was telling my friends that, it's not easy to get older, but it's so good the day of the birthday. You feel like a
Tell
pop
me
star.
about it.
I'm feeling like a Madonna today. I'm like super famous. So, Juan, tell us also a little bit about you. Where do you live, and how did you discover Spiritism, and how did you discover Mia InnerLight?
Well, I'm relatively new to Miami. I moved in the early 2000s. I retired. But I was never very religious. Uh, Early on, I was a Catholic. My family was Catholic, and so I started Catholicism. But when I was in my teens, I had a lot of questions that unfortunately the church couldn't answer for me. So I kind of got away from it all. And it was only a few years ago that I discovered Spiritism. And to my surprise, it provided me with some of the answers that I have been looking for. The whole thing made sense. So I fell in love with the Spiritism, and I found a center in downtown Miami. It was the CFA, um, Centro Espírita Fraternidade e Amor, which moved all the way to 200 and something not too long ago. So then I had to find a new place to go to, and then I found the Conscious Living, which was further up than I would like to, but it was a way of keeping up with it. So I was super delighted to hear from a a friend that here in Miami that said, look, there is a new place that I started, and gave me the name. So I went online and found the center, and I've been a member ever since. That's what, 3 or 4 months ago? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Participate in things that I want to do, things that I find I need for my education as a young spiritist, not in body, but in soul. And so I've been to lectures. I enjoy lectures. And of course, this Kardec radio was something that I enjoyed. So here I am.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And this is also very good. As you said, you are also new to Spiritism, but you have a lot of knowledge already. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. To the ones that were here last week, I was delighted with your comments. And I'm like, my God, I need to have this man here with us. So super happy to have you here. And
Flattery will get you everywhere.
That's really, really good. Thank you. So let me say hello to everybody here. Hello, Sonia. Very nice to have you here, my dear. Fernanda, very good, Fernanda. Marielos, you need to come back to the center. We miss you, girl. And Julio, hey, Julio, how are you? Very good to have you guys here. My friends, if you can send a message to our group and wake them up, because they probably are not paying attention that we have Kardec Radio tonight. And we have this beautiful guest here, and we have to ask them live questions, not recorded, live questions. So if you can send some message to them and tell them, guys, Angy's online calling you to join. And then hopefully they will join us. Very good. So let's go. We are talking about heaven and hell, and the chapter of tonight is called Angels. And as I mentioned, we will be talking what Kardec thought about, what he collected of understanding, historical understanding too, about the angels by the church point of view. So we will have one that he will start talking about this point of view of the collection, of the historical point of view, and of the Catholic point of view of what are angels, how the angels were created. He will be giving us these points. Later on, Shemaine will be giving us the understanding of what are angels by the Spiritist point of view. And in the meantime, me and you all will be asking questions, making comments about anything related, anything you would like to understand or something that you think about, and we can stop and talk. So this is very fluent, okay? So I will start with just a little bit of reading, and then Juan will continue, and we can pick up from there. So, okay, so the chapter is 8. The title is Angels. And then the first portion is Angels according to the church. So we first talk about materialism, because it's very important to understand. So materialism, denying the existence of a spirit and admitting no other life than the physical organism, has naturally relegated the idea of angels into the category of fiction and allegories. But all religions of the world have proclaimed under various names the existence of angels, that is to say, of a being superior to the human race, intermediate between God and man. The belief in those beings forms a special part of the creed of the Christian Church, whose doctrine in regards to the nature is summed up in the following statement. And then we start with lots of statements and understanding. So I will ask our friend Juan to start, and then we can all learn together. Let's go, Juan. It's all yours.
All right. Interesting chapter. Um, so I would begin by saying that according to the various churches and denominations, angels are powerful spiritual beings who serve God and human beings in a wide variety of ways. The English word angel really comes from the Greek angelos. And so therefore you have all the variations, angel in Spanish and English, angelo in Italian, anjo in Portuguese. It's all the same thing. Um, all major religions believe that angels are messengers from God. And that is what the word means in Greek, messengers, people who deliver something from God, who carry out tasks that God assigns to them to perform on earth. The beliefs in angels also extend to religions that believe in various gods, in the fables of mythology. Even in mythology, we have mentions of angels. If you ever read mythology in school, the Greek mythology, there are mentions of angels in all of the things that they mention. So angels are as old as the world itself. According to various religions, Catholicism, Judaism, Orthodox churches, and others, when they appear on earth, angels may be human or heavenly form. Angels may appear as they've been popularly depicted in art as creatures with human faces and powerful wings, often shining with light from within or in disguise, looking just like a human being. I think we've all read about angels depicted in this way in various things. I'm sure that we all read. Um, in the Bible, in Genesis, there are several mentions of angels, and one that sticks in my mind is where angels helped the Israelis escape death from heaven by their homes, which would then be spared while the rest of the homes of the Egyptians were, I don't know if you know that, but there's a passage in and angels come and put a sign on the houses of all the Israelis so that the avenging angels that will come and destroy everything else will spare them. So angels were also used as warriors and to destroy other human beings. The duties of angels in other religions I found interesting, and I wanted to classify them. Number one is worshiping God. Okay, I think all the religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, say that an important part of angels' work is worshiping God, who created them, uh, and make sure that God is really in a constant state of praise, as if God was fed by praise, and so he had a need to create beings that would constantly be telling him how wonderful he is, and so that this is what religions assign to angels as well. Also, delivering messages, and we go back to the word angel, which means a messenger. They were here to deliver messages to humans, such as comforting messages, encouraging messages, or warning people according to whatever message the gods wanted to give to humans. Um, let's see. Also, guarding people. Other religions have identified angels as beings that will be guarding humans. Just the guardian angels that we all in Catholicism certainly has a guardian angel figure for angels, as does Spiritism, and Shemaine will probably touch on that later. Let's see, what else can I say about this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
one
so
important.
let me see before you continue. So uh first of all, if you just arrived here, hello, Mark. How are you? I see the cakes there. Thank you, my friend. So before we continue, hello, Mary. How are you? So I just, if you just arrived, I just wanted to let you know that our friend Juan is doing a summary of all the historical points of view that Kardec collected about angels according to the church. So he's doing this summary, like how the angels were created, what they were doing. So that's what he is doing right now, just for you to understand that our comments about what angels are in relation to spiritism will come in a little bit. So, Juan, very interesting that you just mentioned that basically in this understanding, God had created the angels to worship him. So, is anything else in addition to this, or is this God really that created these angels just to be
Well,
worshiping him?
just one other item that was interesting because it was new to me. I had never heard of this before. But some people believe that angels record our activities, and then there are various examples. Be dive too much into this, but some religions identify two kinds of angels: one that records your good deeds, and one that records bad deeds. Some other religions have one that records things that you do that people can see, and another angel that records everything else that you do that is not obvious to other people. So that was interesting to me. I had never heard of this role that angels played in other religions. And when I say religions, I'm talking about the Hinduism, things like that. Not only the traditional Western religions like Catholicism or Protestants, or the
Yes.
Oriental church also believe very much in angels and performing just about the same things, adoring God, making sure that they're going to praise God all the time, also being messengers, delivering messages from God to people on earth. And this new role that I was just telling you that was totally new to me, which is recording deeds so that nothing will be forgotten. So that's
Yes.
basically the a summary of what other churches and denominations believe angels are for.
Yes, it's in many points it's very similar to what the spiritism understands, but in certain points are very different. For example, the first point in the church believes in those other religions is that the angels they were created perfect. This is like the main point. It's like a God decided to create certain beings to worship him and also to help him with the humanity. And it made sense for me before I was a spiritist. It made sense. I understood like yeah, there are these special beings that they help us out, and comes the idea of the guardian angels. And this was like something that resonate with me. But later on, when I studied the spiritism and then I understood it, then I was like, oh, wait, why would God really create certain beings so perfect and the majority so messed up? Like a lot of us are messed up. We, even if we can consider ourselves nice people, very good, we can realize ourselves. We think about our past in this life. I'm not talking about previous lives. I'm talking this life. And if we recall our past and if we think about certain things that we did, we can say 100% that we are happy with what we did. I recall many times that if I could go back, I would make it much different. I would have acted in a much more positive way. And this is what always came to my mind. So why God creates some beings that are so perfect, and us that we have this rampants of anger and hatred, and others that are even worse, others that still resonate with very bad things, that they kind of enjoy, and they live in this limbo, if we can say so. So this was for me, this was a big a big thing to understand the difference. So this was the very big. So my friends, you are all here looking with your beautiful cute hearts. I want to listen from you two. What was your idea of angels? Write us about. Were you always a spiritist? Did you have the full understanding of what are angels according to Spiritism, or you really had the idea the angels were these special beings created to help humanity? And it's also beautiful. It's a beautiful way to think, but it's just that according to our understanding in Spiritism, it's not like that. Just telling you that. So, Juan, anything else you want to talk about before we jump into angels according to Spiritism?
No, my last point was exactly the point you made, that the unfair thing about angels as presented by other denominations is that they are really given everything, and they don't have to do anything to stay angels, and that's very unlikely. So that was
Yes.
the last point I would have made, but you made it perfectly.
Very good. So let's start, Jermaine. What are your points that bring this different type of angel according to Spiritism?
Yes, according to Spiritism, I'll summarize it the best I can. And Angie, you feel free to interrupt me, but it's there is no doubt that there are beings endowed with all of the qualities attributed to angels, according to Spiritism. And as I've learned, being newer to Spiritism, just in these past 4 or 5 months, souls or spirits are created simple and ignorant. They don't have awareness of good and evil yet. They're capable of acquiring all that they lack through their labor. And the goal is, which is perfection, is the same for all. But the speed that they all achieve this depends on their own free will and their own efforts. I liked reading that God imposes neither a heavier or a lighter obligation on some than on others. For God is just, and since we are all God's children, there are no favorites. All of the
That's
divine.
very good. Already interrupting you.
Yes, please.
That's very good, because it's very important for people that are new to Spiritism to really understand this, because God is a good mother and father, a good mother or father. They have 2 kids, and they, even if two kids, even if they are twins, they look the same. They are exactly the same twins. They look exactly the same, but are 2 different spirits, and they are 2 different personalities there. And yes, sometimes a mother or a father will feel more connected to one of them. But if it's really a good mother and father, we'll love both of them, even if they are so different. And that's how God is. God's love all of us, and we are all different. So why would God be giving a special gift to certain beings, and others is like, no. Sorry, Angela. You just have the name, okay? For now. Why would be that? So this is the beautiful thing that Spiritism gives us, that God creates us all equal, simple and ignorant of not being stupid or anger, but ignorant of ignoring certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So we are just like babies. That's how we are created. I'm not talking about one incarnation. I'm talking of hundreds and thousands of incarnations that each one of us had. So in our first incarnation, we are created simple and ignorant, and we are advancing every incarnation. We advance every incarnation. We learn, and we have Julio here that's always debating with this point, and Julio. But every incarnation, we are improving. We are getting a little bit better. So, and as you said, free will. So, Shemaine, what is free will? To the ones that are here, like free will, what does it mean?
The ability that we have to make our free choices. So I always appreciate, Angie, that when you are helping us to understand that you say this is according to Spiritism, but there is always free will that can be a decision made by us that can affect, yes, how quickly or slowly we learn the lessons that we're here to learn.
Exactly. That's exactly beautiful. We all have free will, so we all have the choice, and the angels, the good spirits. They when we have like some kind of trouble, something that we have to do, and they understand. Oh, Shemaine needs a little help. So the good spirits, they come closer to us and they say, Shemaine, turn on to the right side at this moment. It will be better. But then she may look at the right side, look at the right side like, I don't really want to take that street. I'm going to go to the left. And Shemaine goes to the left. And the spirit's like, okay, Shemaine, you're still going to the left. And then Shemaine went to the left. And then the spirit is still with you because you are a good soul. So the spirit is with you and say, Shemaine, is it still time? Do not cross the street because it's not going to be good for you. And then is again, Shemaine will hear that. Shemaine, somehow she will have a sensation like, oh, that's funny. Like something is pulling me to the right. But should I go there? Should I stay or should I go? So Shemaine will decide. So this is in every single thing in life. We always have our free will because the good spirits, they do not impose anything on us. We are the ones who decide. So let me just read a few comments before we go. So our friend Julius said, angels are just spirits like us, but more evolved. Very good. Exactly. One day we will become angels too. Hey, that's it, Julio. I hope I will have this name and I will really mean it. Very good. And then we have Mariella's here. So Mariella said, I believe there are different types of angels, from spiritual ones to humans and even in animals, who come in our lives to help us in different ways and moments of our lives. Mariella's, yes, our beautiful animals. Guys, yesterday, well, usually I don't really use much Facebook or Instagram. I am addicted to WhatsApp. But whenever I go to Instagram or Facebook, I am always looking at videos of animals. I love animals. And yesterday, I watched a video of parrots, and I used to have a parrot. I couldn't stop laughing. And, it's very funny. One video finished and another video, I spent like more than 1 hour looking at parrots. And yes, they are like little angels in our lives. If anyone has an animal, cats, dogs, whatever, we give them love and they unconditional love you. And it's very funny. Even cats, because cats have a strong personality. Everybody says that women are cats and men are dogs because women, we have our moments. I don't come. I don't want to talk right now. I'm not. And dogs are really like, you are angry at him. "Oh, get out of here!" 5 minutes later, he's right there with you. He forgot about it. He loves you. So yes, animals are really like these special creatures that God gave us to be our good friends. And thank you so much for your comment. Shemaine, I cut you out for such a long time. I hope you still remember the thread that you want to go.
Yes, for sure, for sure. I love it. I appreciate and agree. I like that according to Spiritism, angels are the human souls that have attained the degree of perfection, sort of like we've said, and Julio has confirmed. These creatures, they're the degree of perfection that creatures are capable of, enjoying promised bliss in all of its fullness. Um, I I also wanted to point out that human beings are not limited to the earth. They inhabit countless worlds revolving through space. They once inhabited worlds that have already disappeared. We will inhabit those that are yet to form. It's interesting.
Very good.
And I one of the final points that I wanted to share was that God has not needed to create privileged beings exempt from the duty to progress. All, ancient and new, have acquired their position through struggle, as we discussed, and their own merit. In the end, all are children of their own deeds. Thus, God's supreme justice is equitably fulfilled.
Mhm, mhm. That's great. And exactly like this, because imagine if God had created a bunch of us perfect and others not, or even worse, some created very well created and others badly created, because those are the bad spirits and the good ones are the good spirits. So, in the way it is, it gives an equal opportunity to all of us, all of us. Whenever we face a struggle, it's up to us to make a decision. So, the good spirits, they will be very close to us, inspiring us to take a good decision. But in the end, the final will be ours. We will take a decision to do this or that. And throughout our lives, we start improving, then we start making better decisions, then we are improving. It's almost like you're in high school and then you want to go to college, but you need to graduate from high school. At least in my time, you had to pass in every single subject. If you didn't pass in every single subject, you could not graduate. You would have to repeat a full year. I have heard that now you can repeat just one subject, but in my time, no, you have to repeat the full year, every single subject. And that's it's like it's life. So you are not doing good in math if you don't take time to dedicate yourself to that one subject that you are not doing good. You are not going to be able to graduate. So how the angels are created, basically like this. So it's important for us also to understand that it's not that okay, in this lifetime I'm very good, and so my next reincarnation, woohoo, I'm an angel. It's not like that. It would be too easy. It's not like that. But we have already certain human beings on earth. They demonstrate qualities that are very, very amazing to the majority of the people. For example, Mother Teresa of Calcutta, this tiny little woman that was so strong. Her will was so strong. And there are so many beautiful stories, but there is one story that Prince Charles met her, and he told her, "Oh, Mother Teresa, you are an amazing human being, And I wish I could do the same that you do to the others. And then imagine he is a prince, and she was just a simple nun, very simple, humble. And then she told the prince, yes, you can do it, and much more, much more. You just need to do it. And then the prince, he didn't know what to answer. Because when you think, imagine, he's a prince. He's powerful. He's rich. Everybody wants to know what the prince is doing. And she was a simple woman. She was from a church working in India, working with a very poor population. But she understood that she, with more people in a group, she could do better. She could help more people, and she started taking the good action. So she chose to get out of the convent, because she was supposed to be living in a convent, in the type of convent that you cannot meet anyone from your family, anyone. You have to live in a clausura. I don't know how to say this in English, but you have to live in this place alone with the other nuns, praying to God. That's it. But she reached quickly, in a very young age, she reached to a point to say, no, I believe that loving God is going to the streets to help the people in need. It's not staying here and praying. If I am outside helping, this is a prayer. And that's when she started. And that was revolutionary, because even the church was like, no, you were a woman. You're not supposed to be doing this. So she was love in action. She was really a charitable person 24/7. So this is one of the examples that for me is a person that's really reaching to the angelic figure, because she was so really like humble towards herself. She was always thinking about the others. So this is like one example. And why for her was so easy. It's important for when we understand about the reincarnation. Hello, Sandra. Nice to have you here with us. So we understand, when we understand about reincarnation, when we understand that we come back here times and times and times, many times, we start this process of being better, purifying ourselves. And that's when we like, I'm not saying like in 10 reincarnations we are going to become an angel, but who knows, 100, 100,000, we don't know. But the good thing is that we will be one day. We will be one day, because we are in that beautiful process of improvement, getting better, and one day we will be the angels. I might be Angel Angela, and then we will have Angel Juan and Angel Shemay, and that's the future. So this is really, really good. So my friends, do you have any questions, any comments? We would love to hear from you. If you want to talk about anything about how is your understanding of improvement, anything you want to talk before we change to our second book. As I mentioned to Shemaine and Juan, this was actually an easy chapter. This was an easy chapter. The last chapter was much complicated. It was very, very long, but we had to even do in two different studies. But so let me see here. And Sandra is asking questions. Hand pink waving. What is hand pink waving?
I think she was probably waving.
I'm like, hand pinky waving. What is this? Okay. Do angels incarnate? Aha. So, what you guys think? Do angels incarnate?
By the time that's a great question. by the time you become an angel, does it stop there?
Yeah, well, so let's talk about angels first. So, Sandra, when we talk about angels in spiritism, it means there is a spirit like me, Shemaine, Juan, who had reincarnated many, many, many times and reached to a level of purification really high. Let's suppose Mother Teresa of Calcutta, in my opinion, I don't know, I'm just giving an example of someone that I think is really close to achieving something like that. So when you reach to that point, and you are, let's suppose Mother Teresa, okay, she left Earth, and she is really an enlightened being that she can be promoted to angel. But in spiritism, everything has layers. Everything has many layers. Everything is spiritism. It's like onions. You start peeling. There is another layer. Peel again, another layer. So even angels, there are many layers of angels. So someone like Mother Teresa that had just left the earth from being a very good person, promoted to the low bottom level of angelic figure, for example. So this type of beings, they will become, in the spiritual realm, they will become guardian angels. So they will be helping other beings to enlighten themselves. So this is like their job in the spiritual realm, help others. Because this is another thing in spiritism. Before I discovered spiritism, I thought that when we died, we would be doing just what we loved. And I loved to be at the beach. So I thought I was going to be always in the ocean, swimming, laying on the sand, doing nothing. It was my idea. And then, thank God, I got a little bit more enlightened, and I understood that no, you will be working, but you will be working towards helping yourself and others. So it's not labor in the sense of I need that to survive, but it's I need that to be a better person helping others. So this is the job. So Mother Teresa, being a guardian angel of a very enlightened person, she will reincarnate. She can reincarnate. Doesn't mean that she is obligated if she is clear of all her imperfections. If she already don't have any debt that connects her to any kind of bad experience from the past, she does not need to reincarnate. But many times she can voluntarily come back, because imagine she loves someone and that person is going through a lot of pain and difficulties, and she has an opportunity to be the daughter of this person. So she can ask, can I go back? Can I be the daughter of this person that I love so much? So this is the thing. Yes, they can reincarnate depending on the level. When they are really, really high level of angel, being a high level of enlightened spirit, then it's different. Then they don't incarnate on Earth anymore, because Earth is a very heavy planet. We still have this physicality that's very heavy. And as you can see, a lot of turmoil here. It's never piece of cake. So these super enlightened beings, they will be incarnated in different realms, in much more elevated planets. And there is like a planets just of very enlightened beings. It's like, imagine if Earth was already a planet much, much more advanced, we would be angels incarnated here. But so this is the thing. First, so you have to understand what is the level of this enlightened spirit, and then if it's enlightened to Earth, does not need to incarnate. It can voluntarily come, but she can incarnate in a much more enlightened planet, maybe even outside of the solar system when they reach to the plateau of enlightenment of here, for example. So let me just read here. So it's not necessary, but they can incarnate as a mission to help. Exactly what I just mentioned, Julio. And then Sonia said, I think that angels are highly evolved spirits that come to help those who need help. Therefore, they do not reincarnate. Yeah, depends of the level, Sonia. Very, very similar. So yes, Sandra, thank you for your question. So this very high level of beings uh, called the angels, Sandra, they really do not reincarnate. So they live in another planet, and they guide the other angels, the lower level angels, to help the group here. So their mission is much, much higher. That's why they do not take a physicality, physical body, because they are really coordinating this huge group of enlightened beings that will be helping us. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful how it is. Like really, really nice. My friends, I could be here the whole night talking about angels, but we have a beautiful book that we need to talk to. So I will be sharing with you this other book. Let me see what it is. I cannot find it. Da, da, da. Maybe this? No. Hold on. I don't know what the book is. Let me see. I want to share with you guys the our second book. I don't know why here. I found it. Yes. Okay. Hopefully you can see. Yes, very good. So this is our second book. We always dedicate a little bit of 10 minutes. So this is What is Spiritism? So we are on page 144. And this book is the book that I mentioned in the beginning that Kardec talked to priests. And then the priests, they ask them questions, and then Kardec gives an answer based on his understanding on what Spiritism thinks about it. So, Juan, could you read the question, the priest, and then I will ask Shemay to read the answer, and we can comment about it.
Yeah, give me.
It's page 144 in the bottom. It's in the screen.
144.
Yes.
I'm not sure I'm on the same page.
This is the
Not
page
all
on this.
books.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Well, I'll read it from here. Then allow me to tell you that since the spirits teach only the principles of the we find in the gospel, I do not see of what use Spiritism can be, since we used to be able to be saved before it, and we still can be without it. That would not be the case if the Spiritists had come to teach some great new truths, some principles that would change the face of the world as Christ did. At least Christ did it by himself alone, and his doctrine was unique. Whereas there are spirits by the thousands who contradict each other. Some say white, others black. From this, it follows that from the beginning, their adherents have formed many sects. Wouldn't it be better to leave the spirits alone and hold on to what we already have?
Yeah. So basically, the priest is basically saying we already have the gospels, we already have these teachings. Why do we need something else? Why do we need the spiritism? That's what the priest is asking. So, Shemaine, you can
Yeah.
start like with the answer, and then we can comment.
Okay. You are mistaken, sir, not to abandon your point of view of taking the church as the sole criterion of human knowledge. If Christ spoke the truth, Spiritism could not do otherwise, as a powerful auxiliary that has come to confirm, through all the voices beyond the grave, the fundamental truths of religion that have been refuted by disbelief. For materialism to fight against Spiritism is understandable, but for the church to unite with materialism against it is inconceivable. What is just as inconsistent is that the church labels as demonic a teaching that is based on the same authority and proclaims the divine mission of the founder of Christianity.
So let's just comment little by little, so we can kind of break. And my friends, you all please put your comments, put your questions, because we are reading together. So basically, Kardec is explaining that in that time, the church denominated Spiritism like something from the devil, from demons, like all these things that are coming, these teachings are evil. So that's the idea of the church in that time. So Kardec is just saying we follow the teachings of Jesus, and the Jesus is really the base of Christianity, the Christianity. So why is that so evil? Why do you think it's so evil? Basically, that's what the Kardec is trying to tell the priest. So you can continue, Shemaine.
Okay, but did Christ say all there was to say? Could he reveal everything? No, because he himself said, I still have many things to tell you, but you would not understand them, which is why I speak to you in parables. Spiritism has come at this time, now that people are mature enough to understand it, to complete and explain that Christ touched upon only lightly or spoke about only in allegorical form. Of course, you will say that the responsibility for this belongs to the church, but to which one? To the Roman, the Orthodox, or Protestant church? Since they are not in agreement, each one has given its own explanation and claimed this privilege. Which one has managed to unify all the dissident denominations? God is wise and foreseeing that humans would get their passions and prejudices involved. He did not want to entrust them with the care of this new revelation. He entrusted it to spirits, his messengers, who have proclaimed it to every corner of the globe and apart from any particular denomination, so that it could apply to all of them and so that no one could turn it to his
In his or her advantage.
own advantage.
So in this point here, Kardec is saying like even Christianity got so many different layers, so many different portions. Each portion believes in something or follows certain rules. So what is the problem that Spiritism comes from different spirits? Because basically what the priest is trying to say is that Christ was one, and then he gave us Christianity. But then was not the problem of Christ, but the problem with the men. The men are the ones who created all these different modalities. And what is the problem with many spirits bringing the teachings to us? That's what happened to Spiritism. Many different spirits brought answers to Kardec's questions. That's what was happening. So continue.
On the other hand, haven't the many Christian denominations turned away from the path traced out by Christ? Are his moral precepts scrupulously observed? Haven't his words been twisted to make them an argument for ambition and human passions when in fact they are condemnation of them? Spiritism, on the other hand, through the voice of the Spirit sent by God, has come to call from the strict observation of his precepts by those who turned away from them. Mightn't this last motive in particular be the one that qualifies as the work of Satan? You are wrongly giving the name sect to a few differences of opinions. related to spirit phenomenon. For many, at the beginning of any science, when the observations are still incomplete, it isn't at all surprising that contradictory theories would arise. But such theories rest on details and not on the fundamental principle. Schools can thus explain certain facts in their own way, but these are no more sects than the different systems that divide our scholars regarding the exact sciences, such as in medicine, physics, etc. So delete the word sect because it is entirely inaccurate for the case in question. Moreover, hasn't Christianity given birth to a multitude of sects since its inception? Why hasn't the word of Christ been powerful enough to impose silence on every controversy? Why is it susceptible to interpretations that still divide Christians today into different churches, each claiming to be the sole keeper of truth necessary for salvation, cordially detesting each other and denouncing each other in the name of their divine master, who preached only love and charity? Human weakness, will you say? So be it. How can you expect Spiritism to triumph suddenly over this weakness and transform humanity as though by magic? Now, I will address the question of usefulness. You stated that Spiritism teaches us nothing new. That is an error. It teaches us a great deal to those who do not stop at the surface. Moreover, had it done nothing more than to put the maxim, without charity there is no salvation, which unites people, in the place of without the church there is no salvation, which divides them, that alone would have marked a new era for humankind. You also stated that we could do without Spiritism. Agreed, just like we could do without a multitude of scientific discoveries. People did just as well before the discovery of all the new planets, before eclipses were calculated, before the microscopic world was known about, and 100 other things. In order to live and grow their wheat, peasants don't have to know what a comet is, and yet nobody denies that all of these things have expanded the circle of ideas and have enabled us to penetrate deeper into the laws of nature. Well, the world of spirits is one such law, which Spiritism has enabled us to know by teaching us the influence it has on the... Can you advance, please, Angie, a little more? My screen maybe is not large enough. Which Spiritism has enabled us to know by teaching us the influence it has on the corporeal world. Supposing that its usefulness were limited to just that, wouldn't the revelation of such a power be great enough?
Yeah, so we can stop here because he continues talking about giving more explanations about that. But the main thing, the most powerful thing really that Spiritism brings to us is exactly that sentence that he just mentioned here. That really the maxim of Spiritism is without charity, there is no salvation. Salvation in the sense of helping us to be better people. And in that time, the church was the goal, the maxim was without the church, there is no salvation. Meaning, like you need to go to a church to find happiness, to find God, to find your salvation. And the Spiritism proved to us, no, we don't. Because, even people that don't believe in God, they are atheists, they are materialists. But if they are good people, that's fine. That's fine. The thing is this, like, if we are charitable, it doesn't mean, you don't need to be spiritist to become a good spirit when you discarnated, for example. So the goal of Spiritism is really helping all the people to understand that when you are able to be charitable, you can be charitable even to this person that do not accept your belief, or you as a person, or all kinds of discriminations, like oh, I don't like your skin color, or you're Jewish and I hate this or that. So we understand that there are so many differences in the world, but it's up to us to understand them, to forgive them, and to be charitable, So when we say charitable, it's not just being charitable of giving money, of giving things, but it's really giving love, understanding, acceptance. So this is a much bigger thing, and this is one of the beautiful points of spiritism, because really encompass all this and hugs all the differences, and say it is good because God love you. Doesn't matter how you look, what you believe. Even if you don't believe in God, it's okay, no problem, it's good. So this is one of the things that for me were like so beautiful, so beautiful. You don't need to be baptized, whatever religion, it's fine, it's within us. And this is the thing that I really really like. My friends, what are your final points before we end, because we are already over our time?
Well, one quick comment. This book, in addition to the content and what it tells us, it has made me appreciate Kardec a lot more. Throughout the book, you can see how they try to trip him and to make him fall, and they raise all these questions and trying to make him look bad. And he gets out thing with logic, with elegance. And so my appreciation for Kardec, the person, is really tremendous based in this book. So in addition to the content and what he's trying to do, I think that reveals Kardec, the person, as being a scientist, as being a teacher, and somebody that was really, really cool.
Yes, that very good one. And it's a book that very few people read, very few, and it's not even a thick book. It's like a small book, and it's a beautiful summary. And exactly like you said, it's all the reasoning, and it drives some people crazy because it's almost like Socrates, telling you hundreds of things, but he wants to make you understand, to think, to reflect, and that's the beauty, really, like. He's not imposing, or he's bringing all kinds of things. So you start thinking, you're like, oh, yeah, it's true. Because sometimes we have like blind faith, and that's why we block certain things. But this is very, very nice. Thank you. Shemaine, do you want to say anything before we close?
Thank you, Angie. It's been great being here. I like the fact that, yes, Kardec stresses that if we're working to be better and we're helping people and we're doing charity, why is this considered evil? It's not.
Yes.
It's only good.
It is true. It is true. I'm happy that we evolved, and the religions are a little bit more at easy. Not totally, but okay. It's much better than the 1800s. Woo! My friends, thank you so much. My friends online, thank you. It was all good to have you all participating with us. I hope you can put in your book there that we only meet once a month, always the first Thursday of the month. So you can be with us next month also. So Shemaine, could you do a prayer for us to finalize,
Yes,
please?
yes.
Thank you.
Dear God, thank you for bringing us together this evening and allowing us the time to discuss and learn more and to share questions and thoughts and discussions together. We are thinking of our group here, Angie, and the beautiful soul that she is, and her birthday today. And I am thankful for Juan and all of our friends that have joined us. Please allow everyone to stay safe and well, and keep positive thoughts and all of the good around us that we need to continue on in our lives. So be it.
So be it. Very good. Thank you so much. Was awesome having you both here. I really, really appreciate. Thank you, my friends, all of you that are here with us. It was really good to have your questions, your comments. And if you know anyone in Miami that would like to participate of the Family Spiritist Retreat, please let them know that in June 25th, it's a Sunday, from 12 to 5, we will have this beautiful event that we are organizing. It will be north of Miami, and the link is already open to register. It's free. You just need to register and put your name there so we can have an idea of how many people we will have, so we have an idea of how to better organize it. But thank you so much to all of you here. Hey, Sonia. Bye bye, my friends. Thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure having you all here. Hope to see you next month. Shemaine,
Angy,
one.
happy birthday.
Woo!
Good
Awesome.
night.
Thank you. Happy birthday.